not ideal.
What is it?
That I wouldn't say we're always mean to your dog, but there are definitely those moments where,
Oh, that guy's a fuckwit. I'm mean to him. Anyway.
because I'm not saying we should be equal with dogs or all animals. Like, that's what vegans believe, that we should be equal with all animals. But I think we should definitely show them respect and hold them in a higher regard.
Treat them better.
Treat them better.
No, you can't hold them in a higher regard than where we hold them now.
A higher regard than what we have done in the past. And you can see as a society we are moving forward in terms of treating animals better.
Yep.
And then obviously with International Women's Day last week, we're starting to become more equal with the way that we treat women in society. In Western society, at least. Other cultures are pretty fucked. But
Yeah, some of it's pretty fucking out there.
yeah.
Well, in my household, it's the dog at the bottom. Then it's the unborn baby. Then it's Gia, a woman, Jane, the woman, and then me.
Yeah. So you put yourself at the top.
Yeah, well, I'm just the leader.
But is that, like, do you live in a democracy within your household, or is this more of a dictatorship where you, because you are the dominant one, being the largest person in the household,
Yep.
that you have put yourself at the top of the totem pole?
No, I run a democracy, but
Yeah.
I also know that in my mind, that if I want at any time, I can rule,
Okay.
I can reign. But I sit within the democracy as a happy man and try and give everybody in the room, including the woman, oh, sorry, including the woman, a very equal chance.
Yeah. That kind of sounds like a just typical man, like toxic masculinity, really.
It was. I was just
Yeah.
trying to point it out.
Yeah, because you're just like, hey, well, I view myself as the top of the totem pole there.
No,
And
it's true though. Like I live in a democracy. I get told what to do all the time by the woman in this house, and
that's a true democracy. Well, that's at least what I've been told by women, is that it doesn't sound that democratic, but
No, it
usually it's like we all have a say, but theirs is the right way. You know?
But I do know at any moment that I could reign if I wanted to.
But you don't ever.
I've never have.
No.
But if push comes to shove,
You could, eh?
yeah, I
That's
could
what I like to
absolutely
think.
run the house.
Yeah, that's what I like to think, knowing that I'm a man, that, I do have the potential to be the leader of a household. Not that I ever would be,
No, we
But-
live in a democracy.
Yeah, we live in a democracy where the woman's always right. But I know that I could potentially move my way up to the top of that pecking order.
Yeah.
Not that I will, because, men are always wrong, women are right. So I just know that, that I could get to that point. But
Indeed.
in terms of, International Women's Day last week, how did you celebrate that?
I didn't do anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, I think
I said to my wife, Jane, Happy International Women's Day.
yeah. I think it's almost,
I did.
it's a disservice if you are to celebrate International Women's Day, because it's such a token gesture. And you could see that from the WSL when they tried to celebrate International Women's Day by getting their athletes to proclaim who was their most influential, inspirational woman and put their name on the back of their rash shirt. It was just such a token gesture, and it's kind of like the WSL they're trying to be as woke as they possibly can. To the fact where it's almost detrimental to, the equality of men and women.
Because I guess what it points out is that we only give women one
day a year
of the year, and we call it International Women's Day, and we don't do that for men because we don't need to.
No, we've got the 364 days of the year, and women only have one. And I think to anyone who celebrates one day per year for women, I think that is just that you're fucking going backwards.
You need to take a bloody good look at
Yeah,
yourself.
you need to take a look at yourself in the mirror, take a look at your genitals, and realise what gender you are. And you're most probably a man, because let's face it, men, they rule the roost. And we need to get it more to like a 1-to-1 ratio, not 1 to 364 is what it's at the moment.
Yeah, so we're in a long game here, and we've made a start with one day. And I guess we'll just see how it grows. But I'd say it's probably going to be pretty slow. The women are going to be up against it. There's a lot of men out there.
Yeah, I mean, next year...
Some of them don't like it.
Some of them don't like it. But, next year maybe they're pushing for 2 International Women's Days per year. But still, that's not even enough. We need to get it up to at least a dozen.
Yeah, a dozen days.
12 to 15 days a year, I think.
I reckon let's go for 2 weeks. And we'll
2
move there
weeks?
slowly over like 5 years.
Are we talking spreading it out though? Like say 1
Oh.
week in July, 1 week in November or something like that? Or should we just like a smattering or just a full 2 week block? Because I think if we're having a full
Fuck,
2 week
I don't know if I
block,
can do 2 weeks.
I don't think we do a
back to
full
back.
2 week block.
Yeah, fuck. Okay, so let's do like...
Especially like with a menstrual period. Like
Yeah, I know.
You only want a smattering of days.
Is that
because
2
there's less-
cycles, 2 weeks?
2 weeks is 1 cycle, but you're more likely to get a full cycle in those 2 weeks, rather than like if you just scatter out a whole bunch of days per year, then you've only got to deal with that 1 day at a time. Okay?
Sorry.
You all right?
Yep, my beer was
Yeah.
really cold.
And I mean that in the most inclusive way that I can.
Yeah.
You know?
I know, I totally get it. And you don't want to face all 7 days of the cycle. You don't have to.
Oh, fuck. We shouldn't have started with this topic.
It's nice to...
I think the main point that I was trying to bring up was that I saw the WSL event in Portugal, and I was absolutely appalled at what they'd done.
And
what
we
they'd
should
done.
give more... what you're saying is we should give women more days a year.
More days a year. Yeah.
And not just highlight the fact that we've treated them so badly for so long by saying, oh, okay, have a day now.
Have a day. Have a day. It's
So
absolute
women are-
tokenism. It's
women are
tokenism at
important.
its worst.
Women are as important as we are.
Yep.
Most of the time. And
I just want
we
to
need
see...
to respect that.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to see society come to a point where we don't have to celebrate Women's Day. We don't have to celebrate women at all, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean that in a positive way,
Yeah,
like because we
exactly.
are all equals,
Yeah.
you know? So WSL, do better
Yeah.
and be more inclusive.
That's right.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us here on the podcast today. Anyone that has, I guess. It's
Well,
the
most people are
top of the
probably turned off by now.
top of the turned off.
Yeah.
Well, some of them won't be. So, hi.
Yeah, hi to those that have stuck around.
We've got an agenda for your podcast today, Luke.
Oh, we've always got an agenda here, because otherwise I feel like we'd get off track pretty fucking quickly.
In other surf news.
Yes,
'cause it
other
goes
surf news. Yeah. This is a surf-related podcast, so we try to stick to surf-related things.
There's 3
Yeah.
headlines here. Tudor, Parko mudslides, and new
Well,
surf
you don't
movie.
fucking say the headlines.
I thought
You
that's
just
what
talk
you do.
about... No, you don't say, hey, look, this is what we're going to be talking about. You just fucking talk about it, mate. That's how podcasts work.
I thought it was like coming up on the show.
No, it's not like news. You've
Well,
got
this
it wrong.
is surf news.
No. No.
Okay,
No,
no
look,
headlines.
Fucking, well, we're going to delete that bit out,
Okay.
okay?
No
Out of the-
one's going to edit this.
Oh,
This
no
is-
one's going to edit
this
it.
is unedited.
Let's be frank here. No one's going to edit it. We'll just take it back.
Forget that.
Okay, don't just forget what we're going to talk about. We're just going to talk about it. That's how it works.
Okay, go.
Okay, go. What we talk? Joel Tudor.
Tudor.
Yeah.
Is that a
Longboarder.
headline?
Well, it's not a headline.
Okay.
We just because this is surf news, right?
Okay. Story number 1.
Story number. No, don't even fucking intro it.
Oh,
Just Joel Tudor. You know the longboard. He's 3 times world champ, and he.
I don't know any famous longboarders.
No, neither do I. Most people don't.
So he's a longboarder.
He's a longboarder, okay? So he's a longboarder, like scraggly, 50-year-old man.
oh, yeah.
Like quite whippety,
Yeah.
quite slender, svelte man.
Yeah.
Perfect for longboarding, no
Where's he
power in his
from?
legs. But he has been...
Where's he from?
He's from California somewhere.
Oh, I picture
Oh.
him being Fijian. Okay,
To
so
me,
he's-
being a New Zealander, everywhere in California is exactly the same. So he's from somewhere in California. And so he has been banned from the World Surf League.
what did he do?
I don't know, I think he questioned them. You never question the authority. It's just like the same as we go back to like you'd never question your
Place here.
your place in this in your democratic society of your household with your wife.
Yeah.
But it's the same sort of thing as what he did. He questioned the WSL and said, hey, why don't you just put a little bit more effort into the World Longboarding Tour? Which is fucking crazy because I didn't even know there was one. And
like
so
a WSL for longboards.
yeah, so he wanted them to run more events, which is fucking crazy because most people didn't know they had
No,
any
never
events
know,
in the
yeah.
first place. But he
Like one would be more.
yeah, I would have thought one would have been more, but
Yeah.
apparently there's at least one because he said more. Otherwise, he said, could you run some events?
Yeah, gotcha.
So he wanted some of the longboarding events to run side by side with the men's and women's shortboarding, the proper surfing events. And the WSL, I don't know if they replied to him or whatever, but anyway, he'd been slandering their good name across the internet, and the WSL didn't like that. They didn't appreciate it, and so they kind of canned him from the one event or whatever it is that they have on the longboarding world tour.
Okay, so he's not allowed on the events that they have. And do you realise that you've just, prior to this conversation, slandered the WSL?
I would never do that.
Well, you just sort of said they need to pick up their game because they've just made tokenism efforts around Women's International Day.
I did say that. Yeah, that's I did. It doesn't matter. I'm not an athlete on their tour. I'm not an athlete on their tour. I can say whatever the
so
fuck
if
I
you're
want
an athlete
about
on there, you shut up when you're on the WSL.
Yeah.
About the WSL.
Yeah, I guess like the WSL is kind of like
You could
the
be like,
CCP. It's like the CCP.
You could
know,
be like
Chinese Communist Party. So, like, if you question the CCP, you're
Yeah.
going to be erased, essentially.
Yeah,
And they won't just stop you from entering events. They'll just,
get rid of you.
get rid of you. So he's done
You'll
that.
be on the new reef somewhere.
Yeah, you'll be cement shoes.
Yeah,
But essentially, so that's what he's done. He's questioned the CCP,
and he's gone. He's dead.
Well, he's dead. I mean,
So-
essentially, like they've cancelled him, which
Joel
is
Tudor is dead.
well, no, he's not dead, but he's just not going
Big
on.
news.
He's not going in the longboarding contest that they're going to have.
Most longboarders are old and dying. Actually,
Yeah, well, I mean that's the thing. When you look at competitive surfing, like you'd think that you'd need to have like something to be competing for. And when I say that, I mean like something like worth competing over.
yeah.
Like, say, if we just had a competition where we were just, like, had to sit down and drink beer, it would probably be quite an interesting competition. But the thing is, it doesn't require any athleticism or skill whatsoever, much like longboarding.
I'd win that.
Yeah, you'd probably do pretty well, but it wouldn't be the greatest spectator sport, much like longboarding. So, I'm not sure where
What was his argument for longboarding? Why should the WSL put it in there? What were they to gain for it? Did he have any reasons? Because he can't have said the surfing's going to be great. He can't have said the skill level's going to be high. He can't have said it's going to be action-packed. We know this.
Well,
so what was his argument?
I think that's exactly what he said, because he is a longboarder. And most of these people that ride alternative craft are delusional. But anyway, so what his gripe is that longboarding brings in a lot of revenue to the surf industry. The WSL survives on surf brands. So the more longboards and board shorts or whatever the fuck longboarders use, thick leg ropes, whatever it is, the more of that they sell, then the more revenue that generates for the World Surf League.
Oh, because longboarders buy more.
Longboarders buy more because longboarders have more money.
Yeah, the older boomers.
They're older, 50s, 60s, some of them retired. They're going through a midlife crisis, whatever it is. They want to reconnect with their youth because they saw the Endless Summer or Gidget back when they were young, and they're like, shit, I want to reconnect or at least connect with this cool youthful sport. They go buy themselves a $2,000 log and a beaver tail wetsuit,
Well, that's
and
right.
they're out there.
That's right. And because of their lack of skill and any sort of general coolness, they will buy more product to try and make it up.
Yeah.
So he's probably right about them spending more, because that's how they bridge the gap.
Yes.
Is look like $1 million of embarrassment rather than,
Actually have talent and skill
Yeah,
and
yeah.
do the thing. Yeah, so I think he does actually have a point there.
Yeah, his point
Yeah.
there.
When you think
Interesting.
about it, but I'm not sure if marketing a sport, surfing is kind of perceived to be like an action sport, right?
Yeah, it's action sport for sure.
So if you look at longboarding
Extreme sport maybe.
or an extreme sport,
Yeah.
I think it's probably classified more as an action sport.
It's not in the X Games.
If you saw a longboarder just standing on a wave, on a knee-high wave, I don't think at any point you would, action wouldn't be a word that you'd associate with that kind of behaviour.
Well, most longboarders never even get wet. They're just like standing.
Stand around the car park.
That's the
Yeah.
And I was sorry, I get them confused with the fucking SUPs.
Oh, the SUPs.
Yeah.
No, it's
They're a
similar.
similar
They are
punch.
very similar.
We're not going to get started fucking SUP WSL, are we?
Well, they've
That
probably
would
already
be-
got it.
Oh,
They've probably
fuck,
already
that's
got it.
embarrassing.
But anyway, so that's been a little bit of a kerfuffle lately in the surfing industry, and it'll be interesting to see whether the WSL take on some of his words, because obviously they've canned him from the events and tried to silence him in whatever way they can, much like the CCP. And it'll be good to see if the WSL takes some of that on board. It'll be like, hey, look, maybe we can make a little bit of cut off the 50 to 60-year-old men who are going through midlife crisis and import these $2,000 longboards and these beaver tail wetsuits. Because there is some money to be made there.
Well, I hope that they choose to give the women more days rather than giving the longboarders more days.
Oh, I'd love to see that, especially like us being the male feminists that we are.
Yep.
I would much more.
I'm a
I
girl
would
dad.
much rather see the woman be given more
I
chances.
I love women.
Expand a women's tour, make it 44, like the
Ah.
guys or whatever. How many they got? 32. Increase the women's 16 at the moment.
Maybe cut
put
how
up to
many.
32.
Maybe cut how many. Maybe cut how half.
Cut half the woman, half the woman, but get better women.
And sprinkle them in between the men.
Yeah.
So then we'll watch them
yeah.
because the men
Half,
are.
well, that's the thing. If we get half the amount of women, so cut it in half to 8, and then you've got the cream of the crop, you've got the best woman. So people are going to be more likely to watch women surfing if you're only looking at the
But
best.
put them in with the men.
Well,
And
no,
then-
don't put them in the
then we'll
men.
watch.
No,
Then we'll watch.
Yeah,
Who's
but they
gonna
can look
watch the
so
eight
much
women?
worse against the men.
Yeah, but you're not going to watch them if it's just the women on there.
Well, some people will. That's what I'm saying. If you had the top 8 women, if you just cut it in half, have the top 8 women, because there's 8
So
women.
it's short. So it's
pretty
short,
fucking
what,
good.
Couple hours.
Yeah, it's short, so you don't have to fuck around watching too much of it. But like, you've still got the best 8 women.
Okay.
I think
That's
that's.
good
I think that's the way forward.
In other news, did you know Parko told some kids off for making a mudslide?
Have you seen the video?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite entertaining. Like at first, I thought, oh, he is being a little bit of a, a sad sack, and maybe somewhat, hypocritical. Because apparently he had been down the mudslide a week before, but and then I saw that there was orange tape. You know what orange tape means? It means nah. Orange tape means no go. You can't do this.
Don't do it. Caution.
And then, so to me, that's
Caution.
black and white. You know, you can't step over those boundaries, especially ones that have been put up by the council. And these kids, well, they weren't really kids. They looked like they were maybe early 30s.
Yeah,
these
late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, but acted like
Maybe
15-year-olds.
dads. Yep.
Yeah, definitely acted like 15-year-olds. But they had just been disregarding what the council had been trying to do, which was trying to, I guess dry that out.
Dry that out.
Get a bit of grass going back there. But Parko's reaction was
Heated.
Yeah, it was heated. That was localism at its finest.
Can I just get some perspective for our where's this podcast really popular? Uruguay.
Uruguay, not Paraguay. Paraguay
Okay.
is not coastal. Uruguay is.
They won't know
coastal.
this news. I assume.
They probably won't,
Uruguay.
because they wouldn't have. They
So
wouldn't have
there's
been
some-
able to see it.
There's some big floods in Australia. There's lots of rain, and there's an area where some kids have slid down the hill, turned it into mud, and it stinks.
Yeah, apparently it's disgusting.
And it's probably got
And Joel
poison
Parkinson. Joel Parkinson wasn't happy about it, which
Yeah.
is understandable because he's a local there, and obviously he had been mudsliding at that spot before those guys, so he had local priority because he was there before them. And we all know if you're somewhere before someone else, then that means you have customary rights over that area.
Yeah, it's really hypocritical.
And so he was well within his rights to tell those 15-year-old
Localised.
boys
Local.
to get the fuck out of there.
15-year-old.
But then after
30-year-olds.
watching that, and I actually watched their vlog, these kids.
Jesus, you went
And
wormhole. You
I did.
wormholed.
I went down a wormhole, and they were kids who were just trying to make like some interesting content, much
Well,
like we kind of are now. Except the thing was that these kids were full-blown douchebag rednecks. They were just very fucking punishing. Their vlog was terrible. It was filmed horribly. They just had heaps of it was like
So maybe
a
Parko
clickbait. There's lots of clickbait. They had a clickbait fucking thumbnail on the YouTube. Just all of it just reeked of amateur YouTube shit. It was bad. And I didn't like it. So that's why I stand behind Parko on that one.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
Just because they look like absolute fucking punishers.
Okay. And I
Yeah.
also understand in surf news there's a new surf movie that you
Yes.
wanted to share an
Yep.
experience you had with.
Yes, new surf movie called Facing Monsters.
Yep.
It's starring Kirby Brown of the Brown Brothers from over Western Australia. Him and his brother Courtney. They go and tow into they're not
Facing-
even really waves. They're just like these big slabby pieces of water that break onto dry rock shelf.
They are hectic.
Yeah.
They are so ballsy. I look
Yeah.
at that and think, fuck, why would I'd sit on the edge and take video and be like, look at these.
Yeah, no, because
Never
the wave.
think of getting in it.
No, well, they don't look surfable.
No.
Like you see the intro of the film, it starts and they've gone out on their jet ski and they're going to check this fucking so-called wave, and you look at it and you're like, well, clearly they can't surf that because it's breaking onto dry rock shelf reef
Was that in Australia?
in Australia.
That big one.
Yeah.
Where is that?
I'm not sure. maybe near Calbarry somewhere.
Slab City.
It was a fucking slab. And so, but anyway, they thought, hey, look, it's kind of breaking as a wave, so we'll try and surf it. And it was fucking terrifying. It was seriously scary.
Don't spoil it.
I'm not going to spoil it, but that's how the film started.
What would you review it?
It was like 5 stars.
Oh, if you give it a 5-star.
Yeah,
Chasing
5 stars
Monsters.
out of 6 stars.
Does they need to know the Raglan Surfport.
5 stars out of 6 stars.
6 stars.
Well, I told them that it was good. I didn't give them the rating. I just said, hey, this is a fucking fantastic film. Well done.
Well, are you having to say this because you were the MC of the whole night?
Nah, I'm not saying that because of that. Oh, I'm just fully impartial to the whole thing, but I just thought it was fucking amazing. Although one thing that I could say that could be improved is, or not improved, but one thing that kind of didn't let me down, but it was fucking terrifying. Like it started off, you know, you're white-knuckled from the very beginning.
Like a porno.
It's stressful. It's fucking stressful. And if you look at what we've been through, everyone globally, through the last 2 years, like, we've been through enough stress as it is.
I'm stressed.
And so to sit down and, in a cinema for 1.5 hours and watch this film that just stressed me the fuck out was just... I wasn't prepared for it, basically. Like, it was a great film, but I wasn't prepared emotionally or mentally for that kind of stress.
I kind of like it. Sometimes when I'm watching movies.
Yeah, well, it's good sometimes, like, if that's what you're prepared for. But I just thought, hey, maybe they'll kind of ramp it up, and then, you know, they'll. I don't want to give anything away, but like, it was a high stress film. Yeah. Fucking amazing, great cinematography, the storyline, everything was awesome.
So you never really got a result. You never got the feeling of the finishing that you wanted.
No. Well, what I'm trying to say is that it's just like from it's 0 to 100 straight off the bat. Throughout the whole thing, it's pretty...
And it's called Chasing Monsters.
Chasing Monsters.
Okay.
So go and see it. I think they may be showing it in some of the cinemas in Australia and New Zealand at the moment, but otherwise I'm sure it'll come out on the old internet at some point.
Yeah, it'll be on Tube Galore by August.
Tube Galore? It's porn, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
it's
it
a site. It's a site that will change your life.
No.
Next on the agenda is either of these two.
Well,
that kind of... Oh, no, number 3.
Show and tell, that's right. Well, okay, so you may remember, it was about a month back we did a video. You were involved. You were there.
Yeah.
You were there. I was there.
Surf
skating. And
arguably the best Raglan Surfport video ever.
Well, not really, but it was, you know, it is what it is. People enjoyed it.
Top 5.
And... Well, yeah, we're not rating anything here. But the thing was, I didn't know a lot about surf skating. Like, I've been a surfer for, you know, since I was like maybe 11, 12. I've been a skateboarder for...
Late bloomer.
Skateboarder for about the same time. So I'd never really joined the two together.
Yeah.
You know? So this whole surf skating phenomena was quite new to me. Even though we all know that surfing was invented... skateboarding was
invented off the back of surfing.
Off the back of surfing.
Yeah.
So I'd always known that, and I'd always used skateboarding to kind of increase my surfing ability. You know, some of the same body movements.
When the waves are shit, you can go and get the feeling, maybe?
Yeah, similar. But anyway, like this whole surf skating phenomenon, I didn't know too much about it, but I'd seen some like cheesy as fuck videos on like Instagram, on the internet, of these people trying to, improve their surfing skills by skateboarding. Yeah. Which, to a certain extent, you can.
Yeah.
But, like, if you can't
like
paddle out...
training for tennis with table tennis.
It's similar. Yeah, similar kind of thing, except the tennis court's moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, after this video, because I'm not a surf skater, I didn't know too much about it. Some awesome fucking skateboard company... They hit me up and said, hey, we love your video, which is crazy because I was kind of taking the piss out of skateboarding.
This is a paid segment, man.
This isn't paid segment, but I'm just showing my appreciation for this skateboarding company called YOW, Y-O-W, which I think it stands for Your Own Wave. And I think they're a Spanish company, but YOW Surf, Your Own Wave. But anyway, they hit me up and they were like, hey, do you want a surf skate?
We have 2, actually.
Well, no, I didn't say 2. Just 1 for me. Were you thinking you could...
Well, if you got 2, you might look at giving it to someone.
Yeah, well, I thought I could just lend you the original surf skate, that one that I made out of an old piece of plywood.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So, but anyway, they sent this to me. And
That
I
is
didn't
a
think
fucking
I
sick
didn't think
skateboard.
that.
Give me a look.
Yeah, it's pretty epic. I didn't think they'd follow through with the goods, but then
Look at the turning system on the nose, man. So it's not like your normal skateboard truck. It's got a swivel.
yeah, the super wobbly, swivelly thing.
It's like a wow.
I don't understand how it works. I haven't ridden
So you
it
can
yet.
turn much sharper, but then the wheels are going to hit the deck. You're going to
Nah. Apparently the wheels don't even hit the deck. Like it's all bloody ergonomically designed.
that
so
thing's
that
that thing's cool.
so
What
it's
are they
pretty
worth?
cool, eh?
How much was that? How much they give
Well, I don't know.
Did you not Google? You
No.
Googled.
Yeah, it was $500. But yeah, they gave it to me, which is pretty awesome. I haven't used it yet because I've had gout for the last week, which means I can barely stand up, let
Okay.
alone stand up on a skateboard.
You're eating too much cheese, man.
Yeah, or crayfish. But yeah, I'm going to give this a go, and I'm actually going to, have a little hoon at surf skating and just see how it goes. I might even like film some of it and just, like this is my my journey into surf skating.
Yeah,
I
that's a
might
good
love
idea.
it. Who knows? I might love it.
Yeah.
And then I might have to go back and create a video about how awesome surf
and
skating
you've
is.
now got a sponsor, so we can start, wedging that platform and build on it and just, milk,
Well, I wouldn't
milk
say
the
it's a
cow.
sponsor. I wouldn't
Milk
say
the
it's a
cow.
sponsor, but
Yeah, but
they
that-
sent me this.
no, but we'll
which is
call it a
pretty cool.
sponsor now and just start embedding that into them. And
Oh, so push that onto them.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, you sponsor.
you sponsor milk now.
You sponsor. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, we'll see how it goes. But anyway,
Just take it like Putin does.
yeah, Yao Surf if you like skateboarding or not surf skating. If you like surf skateboarding, then
Sounding very like a paid piece now.
well, it's not even a paid piece, man. I'm just saying I'm just like quite appreciative that someone sent me a skateboard. Like someone who doesn't even know me, and they saw this video where I was basically taking the piss out of their sport and the thing that creates their living and their income, and I've taken the piss out of it, but yet they still sent me a
Sent you their
skateboard,
shit.
which is it's mental, it's crazy. But hey, here we are. So thanks for that.
On that gout note, my dad once told me that you do get that from performing cunnilingus. And I'm not saying you have been, but just something to think about.
Yes, and here we are with your piece of sexual innuendo.
I knew you were gonna
This isn't
say
even
that.
innuendo. This is just blatant.
Yeah, because I'm
sex
not
talk.
trying to joke.
No, but your dad is insane because that's not real.
Well, my dad is
Crayfish,
healthy
you get it
and
from crayfish.
Has a job, okay? So he's not insane.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Look what he's produced.
Yeah, he hasn't produced
It's
much.
good beer anyway. Shout out to Lion Red.
Yeah, each time we've always tested a beer.
Yeah,
been
is this
different
another
beer.
paid piece?
This is
Is this what this has turned into?
Iron Red New Zealand beer?
You bought these beers though, so that doesn't count.
No, it's pretty average, and heaps of people
Yeah.
take the piss out of me for drinking
Yeah.
this, but I fucking love it.
That's a good Kiwi beer.
Where do you want to go next?
Are
on
we
the
up to
agenda,
Goofy
man?
Footer of the Week yet?
Yeah. No. Yep.
Yeah, Goofy Footer of the Week.
Yep.
Because I think this is the best segment of this entire show.
The awards.
I think only because it's the only segment of the show.
And we're going long.
Yeah, because it's something that we really everyone should look at, and everyone should. I don't know. It's good. Like I quite like when viewers or listeners or whatever you want to call yourselves,
Consumers.
No, not viewers or listeners.
Takers.
Friends.
Takers.
Friends.
Nah, fuck that.
Friends.
It sounds fluffy and dumb. Call them.
But you shut the fuck up. This is
Oh.
originally my podcast. Friends.
Yeah,
So
originally.
when our friends like yourself, if you're listening or watching this, when you just give some, not even feedback, but some ideas for Goofy Footer of the Week or Natural Footer of the Week.
Oh yeah.
But this week I have gone with let me explain Goofy Footer of the Week. I just feel like I have to explain it every week.
Every time.
Yeah, Goofy Footer of the Week. So Goofy Footer of the Week is an award given to someone or something that kind of just really encompasses all the attributes and traits of a Goofy Footer. Just fucking awesome, like a really good person or good thing, just something that's just like a shining beacon of hope in a dark world. Just all those just classic Goofy Footer characteristics.
Well groomed.
Yeah, well groomed, godlike, just all the best things about being a Goofy Footer. And so this week it was surf trips.
Surf trips,
Surf
man.
trips. Goofy Footer of the Week
They
surf
are
trips.
so cool.
They are cool because I've been watching
I'm trying to go on
is
one.
it
in 2 weeks.
John Freeman? You know John Freeman from the States?
Yeah, I do. I
Yep.
watched him on Instagram.
He's been on the podcast before, but he's currently
He
over in
seems
the
like a good
Maldives.
bastard.
Yeah, he's very, very nice guy. He's over in the Maldives at the moment, and he's been Instagramming it all because that's what he does.
I'm always worried about that place because I fucking don't like Mals and I hate diving.
That's stupid, bro, what you just said. But anyway, he's over there and he's having a hell of a time. He's on a boat trip, and it just reminded me of back when I used to go on surf trips, and just kind of like I just got a jolt of nostalgia, and I just felt horrible because I was not on a surf trip anywhere.
Why don't you give it to him, man? Honour him.
Well, I might give
it to Jonathan.
No, I'm not. Well, he hasn't earned it yet. Like just
he's
because
the one who made you feel good, man.
No, just because you go over on a surf trip, it doesn't make you Goofy Footer of the Week. Otherwise, there'd be so many other Goofy Footers of the week.
He's had to jump a lot of hoops to do this because there's COVID around, there's wars. He's American. That's tough anyway.
Well, just being an American.
Yeah. And then he's gone over to the Maldives, and he has done that, and then made you feel good, and maybe that's why he does it.
I told you I felt fucking terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't feel good at all. I can't give it to someone who's made me feel like shit.
Okay, I was just trying to...
yes, he hasn't done anything wrong.
I just wanted to make sure you were doing some critical thinking around it.
I'm always critically thinking, but that's why I thought about giving it to him because I was just like, it's pretty crazy what he's done. Like, that's a bold move to go and explore the world, like especially if you're an American, and like obviously America's like it's the best place in the world, and you never ever want to leave it ever. But well, at least that's what Americans believe. But he's done that, and
he doesn't believe that.
Well, he's kind of like it's anti-American to leave the country. But anyway, I kind of thought, fuck it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give it to surf trips in general. And then also you've got like jumping in your car for a weekend, like getting your boys and like it's gonna be a mean swell down the coast, guys. Jump in, let's go. And they're like, oh sweet, yeah, bro. Are you paying for the gas? Oh no, I thought it was bro, I'll fucking catch you later. I'm not coming. But like that kind of thing. And I haven't done that for a while either.
Getting too pissed, and then we'll go surfing early in the morning, but you get too pissed. You don't go surfing at all, really. When you go surfing, you're shit because you're pissed.
Yeah, and just you're not very talented. But like that's one of the things that I miss. I haven't done that in a long time, and I feel like I'm probably not going to do it for a while either because of like obviously petrol prices are absolutely fucking retarded at the moment. Can I say retard on here?
Yep.
I've said it before. I say it again. Sorry,
but
about
you sort of got to roll your R like retard.
Yeah.
And then it's okay.
Yeah, but anyway, that's why I gave surf trips Goofy Footer of the Week, because they are fucking awesome, and in this day and age, it's almost like they're becoming a rarity. So celebrate surf trips when you can, appreciate them when you can, while you can, because you never know when the price of gas is just going to fucking quadruple and you won't be able to like leave your house basically.
And come to New Zealand on one if you're not.
Yeah, come to New Zealand. Like, we're almost open for tourism. I would love to see some new faces over here, and I sincerely mean that.
But don't go to Raglan.
No, come to Raglan.
Oh, they are allowed?
I love it. Yeah, absolutely.
Come to Raglan.
See, I'm not one of those fuckwits.
Not many Raglanders will say that.
No, that's true. I'm one of the rare ones who actually enjoy people coming to my hometown.
Come on in, man. Raglan said it.
But yeah, I'll put the welcome mat out, and I mean, obviously, don't come near me or to my house or anything like that.
And don't shit in the car park.
And don't shit in the car park. But please come to Raglan. Like, our economy needs the boost. And
don't use boost. It's a sensitive word.
It is at the moment, eh? Like booster, like a vaccine booster. Yeah, exactly. Fuck.
But the economy could do with the injection.
Word, damn it.
Fuck, we can't use injection.
Yeah,
the economy could do with some
cash.
cash.
You can't use that. We
just
need money.
Yeah.
We just need money. Oh, fucking inflation. We can't use that word either.
Damn it.
Damn it. Okay, well, just come to Raglan.
Come to Raglan.
Come. Oh,
don't
that's
say
kind of
come.
almost predatory. Yeah, sexual predatory. But yeah, Raglan's a beautiful place.
It's a nice place to visit.
It is a nice place to visit. So, yeah. And on that note, we will segue into Natural Footer of the Week, because for every yin, there's a yang. For every up, there's a down. For every dark, there is a light. So we had to balance out Goofy Footer of the Week with Natural Footer of the Week. And this week, we gave Natural Footer of the Week to petrol. But then I thought about that a little bit more, and I thought, well, it's not really petrol's fault because it's expensive. It's more that full-blown cocksucking piece of shit, Vladimir Putin, the leader of Russia, who's kind of fucked up for everyone, but mainly the Ukraine because he's an absolute cunt face. But yeah, I thought he'd be Natural Footer of the Week. Yeah.
It's funny, petrol, because you started there, you're going to give it to them, but petrol's definitely not it, because petrol's actually just like Mother Nature's urine.
Petrol's an inanimate object, essentially.
And we steal it and make it from oil. Putin has 1/3 of it, so that's why it's costing us heaps, because he's shutting down the old, or we're not allowed to use that oil, so we've got to get special oil from somewhere else.
Well, that's right, yeah. So the fuel market internationally
Putin.
is gone crazy because you can't get the Russian pitch, because they have a third of it. I didn't even realise that until the other day, that they have the same amount of oil supply as Saudi Arabia.
We must have been reading the same science books. I read that too. Have you heard about the Super Bowl ring story with Putin?
No.
Putin met a man, a billionaire, an American man, and they were chatting that night. He noticed the ring, the big diamond ring. I heard this on the radio. A big diamond ring on the Super Bowl one. And Putin goes, "What's that?" And he told him. He put it on and goes, "I could kill someone with these." And then just kept it.
Yes, I did hear that story actually.
Walked away.
Yeah.
And then he also...
Wasn't he at a game or something, like in one of those
I don't know where
boxes or something?
Yeah, he stole
and he
it.
just didn't give it back to the guy.
And then the next one, he was in Sweden at a museum. I heard this on the radio too. And he liked something there, and so he just got his bodyguards to take it. It's a fucking museum. It's an artifact of another country.
So he's like a gang member. He's a gang leader.
He's a gang leader.
Essentially, because that's what gang leaders do. They use their intimidation just to get away with shit.
Yeah, he's a gang leader. And so he, obviously we know what he's doing now. I don't even really want to mention it because I hate him. And
yeah, I don't even want to give him any airtime really, but I
anyone
just want
that's doing that to any country.
I just want everyone to know that he
Middle East, there's wars there too. It's just all horrific.
I don't
want to get too deep.
No, I'm just thinking about we can't even give him natural fruit of the week because obviously natural fruit of the week is for the exact opposite of a goofy footer.
Yeah.
But then, like, he's worse than that.
Yeah.
He's worse than that. So I think we take it back off him. Let's just give it to Petrol.
Should we make it?
We'll just give it to Petrol, okay?
Should we make a list of people we're not allowed to mention on the show, like Putin, Trump,
Bill Cosby. Yeah. Oh no, Bill Cosby's free now. We can talk about him now.
R. Kelly?
Yeah. R. Kelly, for sure. Your brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake Devlin. That's it.
That's it. Okay. Well, that's a list. But yeah, I think we rescind that trophy or that title off Vladimir Putin.
And give it straight to Petrol.
Petrol. So
because Petrol, you're expensive. Sorry, Mother Nature. It's not your fault, but we're charging ourselves heaps for your shit.
That's definitely natural foot tendencies because it's made me feel bad in my pocket, and it's just made me stop doing things. And I think everyone feels a little bit sad. So it's kind of like it's definitely a natural footer kind of thing to do.
Well, I guess off the back of that, we could try and find a silver lining to help the surfing community that has consumed this podcast. What cars could they maybe use to better their chances, A, with petrol, B, with life?
Yeah, just all around good. And first off the bat, you're thinking Prius, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's thinking Prius.
Electric.
Yeah. Well, no, a hybrid.
Hybrid.
Yeah, a hybrid, because the thing with electric vehicles is that you have to keep fucking charging things. You know those terrible Nissan Leafs?
Yeah.
They last for 140 Ks, which is, what's that, like 95 miles or something like that, until you have to recharge the fucking thing.
So you can't go surfing.
Well, you can go surfing. You can go surfing somewhere close. Well, not New Zealand, because most surf spots are at least 200 Ks away.
Yeah.
Like for most Auckland people, if not all of them, they're all going to drive like 200 Ks down to Raglan for a surf. You can't even get there. You got to stop, recharge your car for 3 hours, and then get back in. And by the time you get there, it's probably the tide's probably fucked.
Done. You're fucked.
Yeah. So that's why I was thinking Prius, because they're a hybrid. Yep. They take like half the amount of petroleum.
Yeah.
So essentially,
what about surfboard on the back though? You got enough room? You got enough caboose?
That's the thing. Like you got to put your boards on top of the car.
Prius with racks.
The thing is, as soon as you put your surfboards on top of the car, you don't look like a surfer anymore.
You're fucked.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed that? Like, if you see someone with surfboards on the top of their car, it's just like, well, they're not really a surfer, are they? Because if they were, they'd have a fucking station wagon. Which brings me to the best surfmobile that you can get is a Toyota Corolla hybrid. Do you know they do hybrids, Toyota Corolla hybrids?
No.
So it's essentially, you've taken the best car that was ever made.
Is this a paid segment?
No. So you've taken the best car that was ever made by man, which is obviously like a Toyota Corolla, 1.5 litre. And you take the technology of electricity and hybridism and you put it into the engine of a Toyota Corolla, the best car ever made by man.
Yeah.
And essentially you've got the even betterest car made by man.
So it's kind of like taking a healthy, hot, 25-year-old meat eater, and then a really sexy, beautiful 23-year-old vegan girl. The male's a meat eater. They have passionate and beautiful sex, and then create this wonderful little combo.
Sorry, what did you say? One of them was a vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so straight off the bat, that's just absolute fucking crazy bullshit, fictitious story, because there's no way a vegan is going to get with someone who eats meat. I like where you're going there.
I've slept with a vegan.
I like where you're going there, but it's like having like two of the most attractive people in the world, like let's say like Heidi Klum in her prime and me.
No, my metaphor around so he's a meat eater, that's the petrol. She's a vegan, that's the electricity.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the best ever.
What do you mean?
It doesn't matter, don't worry. We're getting off topic. All I'm trying to say is that the Toyota Corolla, in my eyes, my opinion, is the best surfmobile. And I drive one, you know, so I would know.
You don't drive a hybrid?
No, well, I don't drive a hybrid, but I was thinking about it, but then they'll cost $5,000 more.
You need to go find a hot vegan.
Why?
Because then you can get a hybrid.
No, but that's a metaphor. That doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't apply directly to my automobile.
She might have a lot of money and help you get a hybrid.
I think vegans actually have hybrids as it is, though.
See?
Because I think a lot of vegans, their whole shtick is because they're worried about the environment.
Crash your car into
or
the
they
vegan's
just
car.
they just want to be
She'll
annoying.
have insurance. Write yours off, and with the insurance money, buy a hybrid. That's how you do it.
Could buy a hybrid. Fuck, I'd love a hybrid, eh? I mean, what would you like if you were to choose a car for surfing at the moment, and take into account the current petrol prices? What would you get?
I'd go with Toyota as well, and I'd get a hybrid as well. But I would get the RAV4 so that I can get up the beach.
That's a very feminine car, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, because we obviously had International Women's Day last week.
And look at my car over there, soccer mum, right? Feminine as fuck.
Yeah.
Like I've got a vagina written all over it.
Yeah, which is completely fine.
Especially because
totally fine.
Especially because the bumper's taped up. Looks like I've crashed it. Women crash their cars way more often than men. The bad drivers. No,
well, they do. No, I mean, that's statistics.
Science.
Yeah.
And so, I'd get a taped up RAV4 hybrid.
Yeah, that's good. And I think this needs to be more common. Like men need to be more comfortable with their
Riding
sexuality and driving cars that are practical.
Yeah.
Not just driving a Raptor, you know, like a
Yeah.
Ford Raptor or a F-250 or whatever it is, because, you know, there's a lot of men out there who are insecure with their penis size.
Yeah.
So they do need to make up for it with a larger automobile.
Well, what a lot of women say to me when I'm in my soccer mum car is, damn, you've got some big dick energy.
Yeah. And that's how I feel driving my 1.5 litre Toyota Corolla, which is extremely economical.
Yep.
It's not the most masculine car in the world, but it doesn't matter because I'm comfortable
Yeah.
with my masculinity, because I know I'm wielding a hog downstairs.
That's right.
And everyone else sees me and they're just like, damn, I wish I had that confidence.
BDE.
And that's why I'm thinking, fuck, maybe I do just get a Prius hatchback.
You get a Prius hatchback. Nah, because you need the wagon room, man. You want to be able to, like, put a matty in and get your board in.
I reckon I could probably squeeze my board in there, just like I squeeze my hog in my pants every day.
Hard out. I don't know how you sit that into a pair of 38s.
Yeah, well, I do, mate. I make it work.
Like
But,
nothing like a shoehorn to put your jeans on, eh?
Yeah, I actually need that. Well, just because, you know, around the waist. But I told you I have been shedding some pounds lately.
Interesting that you're cutting your calories. I thought is that you being strengthened with your masculinity and not worrying and admitting this now?
I don't care. I'll fucking admit it.
You're on a diet.
I'm on a diet. It's not a cuck thing to say. I'm comfortable with that.
And you're fasting in the morning and you're counting your calories at night.
Yeah, fasting in the morning. I eat lunch usually about 1 p.m.
Yeah.
And then and then I live my life normally from 1 p.m. Yeah. But it's fine. I'm still got plenty of energy.
Drink beer.
And I've lost a few kgs because the thing was
Can I have that beer?
What's that?
Can I have that beer?
No, I'm going to drink that beer.
How many ounces is in there?
Oh, fucking wait. I think in a beer there's about 100 calories, right? 110 calories in this beer.
Yeah.
In a low carb beer, there's about 90 calories. And a full strength Heineken, I think, is about 150. So Heineken will make you fat.
Oh, that's always been well known.
But my whole thing with losing some weight was that I was getting body shamed on the internet by people. They were saying, "Oh, you're looking a little bit tub around the sides. Who ate all the pies? Oh, you've been eating all of the Jack Links." You know, and it's just like none of these things are true. I'm just, I've just been going through a moment.
None of these things are true. We just got into your car before, and I said, "Oh, those boxes of Jack Links, are they a problem for my dog?" And you said, "No, there's nothing in them."
Yeah, there's nothing in them. Exactly.
What have you done with it?
I ate it.
So you've eaten all the Jack Links?
Yeah, but I didn't eat all of it at once in one sitting.
Mm.
I spread it out, just like any kind of like food.
It doesn't
you know?
matter. Jack Links doesn't make you fat anyway. It's not that.
Well, no,
That's
it's
just
fucking
protein
good. It's
bar.
high in protein, and that's the thing. You got to cut out the carbs, man.
Gotta
I haven't
cut the
been
carbs.
eating. I haven't been eating bread. I've been eating lots of proteinous food.
Yeah.
Lots of vegetables. But it was because I ordered a whole bunch of surfboards that were a little bit too small for me. But I did this on purpose because I didn't want to. I didn't want to get boards that were too big, so that then feel comfortable in riding those boards, knowing that I was 109 kilograms, which for me it's too much because I want to be light. I want to be nimble.
Okay, can you
You
give
know,
me your
I
stats?
wanna,
So you're 109 kilos.
Yes.
What's your surfboard weight size shape?
33 to 33.5 litres. So in terms of literage, I had a look on.
What's the length?
I had a look on a calculator for your weight
6.
to dimension, and it said I should have been on like a 38 litre board. To me, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like me.
That's a big tub board.
Yeah.
That's almost that's damn near a mini stand-up paddleboard. So I was like, I'm not doing this. So I ordered some boards that were a bit too small because I knew it would incentivize me to shed some kgs. And it has. I've lost like 4 or 5 kgs. My goal is to get back down to 100.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go on the world tour because I'm going to be a fucking weapon by that point.
Cheers to that, man.
Yeah.
I'm coming with you as like your caddy,
Yeah.
but I won't be able to paddle out.
Just come film me or something.
Yeah. I can't fucking hold a camera.
Oh, not with that attitude you can't, but I reckon you'll be able to.
We're finished.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, that's the end of the podcast.
No, we have viewer questions.
Oh.
Listener questions. Because you can't, yeah. I wonder what the ratio is for viewer to listener. I could probably look that up, actually. I think there's definitely more listeners than viewers.
Yeah,
because
more
most people
download
just put this shit on
As they
and just
drive.
listen to it when you drive. Like, that's when I listen to podcasts.
We've been talking so long now that people would have finished their drive. They might be on round 2 of the listening.
Well, I think what we're going to find is that this podcast listenership is going to it's going to drop. It's going to plummet with these petrol prices because people aren't going to be driving around for that much longer.
It's a real bastard. And the fact that they haven't actually taken anything home from this podcast.
Oh, it's no value
There's no
whatsoever.
value.
No,
We're really just wasting their time.
no.
Maybe they'll get something out of answering these questions because people have
Well,
asked.
I'm not sure if anyone's actually got anything worth
Is there
answering.
nothing?
To
There's
tell you
nothing
the
there.
truth,
Oh.
there was some questions. There was definitely some questions. I just don't know if any of them were any good. So
we skip that part?
we'll just see if there's. Someone says hi. That's not really a question. That's more of just kind of like a greeting or a statement. There's no substance to that whatsoever. So, hi back. Someone else said what with a question mark. That's a question, but
I think we've reached the end.
I'm not going to elaborate on that.
I think we've reached the end. Is
Is
there anything there?
Oh, how big is that meat stick of yours? Mummy's hungry.
How big is your dick?
Well, I think that's what they're referring to before, and we've already been through that.
Is it big hard or is it big soft?
It doesn't really matter. I just said
It's
like
big
I
or
drive
both.
a Toyota Corolla,
Yeah.
and I'm comfortable enough getting a Prius. So that kind of tells you how big my hog is anyway. So
He's not hung like a pigeon, but he's not Wolverine.
well, I didn't know.
Like a sailor. All sailors are pretty decent dicks.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's assault.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
Do you also suffer self-doubt as outlined in Griffin Colapinto's diary, and how do you reassure yourself? That's a really good question. And going through all these questions, I've yet to find anything. So it's really refreshing to actually get a good question
Is
because
that guy's middle name Colon?
oh, for fuck's sake, Griffin Colapinto.
Okay.
You know nothing about
well,
surfing or
you're
surf
starting
culture.
to slur your words, so I wasn't
I've
sure.
had
what you
one beer. No, what I was saying, I was just trying to say how nice it was to get a good question because most of the viewers or listeners are. I'm not going to say they're tards because that's disrespectful to our viewership and audience. But there are some pretty fucking stupid questions, and some that aren't even questions; they're more statements. So it was really nice and really refreshing to get someone asking like an actual well thought out question. And at this point, I can't even remember what it was.
said. Yeah, don't even answer it.
Yeah. But, it's good to do this podcast again with you.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've let us both down. Or, by not drinking. I haven't even finished this whole beer.
So, what? One beer?
Which is probably good because it's 110 calories. And you've already had 2 or 3 in this time frame. But, what's up next?
That's it, man.
Yeah, what's up next?
Well, I'm going to go make some healthy kiwi porn.
Oh,
Remember
okay.
that? When we were talking about that?
You said something about that at the start, and
No,
I
when I
said
sent you a video online. We were talking
no.
about
I
it online.
said please do not mention this on the podcast.
Well, I'm going
Do
to
you
make
remi-
some healthy porn. And it's kind of like Sky One, but which is like soft porn, but you still get a little bit.